Cho, first, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
It's very nice to make an interview with you.
Thank you so much. My great pleasure.
Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Where were you born? What kind of education did you receive? Who you are, basically?
I was born in Taiwan, Taipei, the capital city, in 1979. In the past 20 years in my life, I call myself is like an academic refugee. Because after I graduated, I received my bachelor's degree in Taiwan and also took the compulsory military service. I went to America, Columbia University for master's degree, University of Melbourne, Australia for PhD degree, Helsinki, Aalto University, postdoc research position. Then I come to Turkey, Beacon University. Then I go to Chiu'nun, the Technical University of Munich. Then I come back to Turkey, and now I work in Reyhanlı'da. So I also always travel.
Diploma collector.
Trying to find a way to survive, try to see the world, and try to understand different kind of people, different way of life.
So we are today here to talk about Taiwan Center on the border between Syria and Turkey in Reyhanlı.
Yes.
But first, let me ask you, how did you first come up with the idea of designing for this place?
Let me tell the truth, because 7 years ago, the Taiwan government donated a small amount of money, 400,000 US dollars, to the municipality of Reyhanlı'da at Hatay to build an elementary school, especially for the Syrian refugees, Syrian children. And during that time, we have a small budget for construction, but the problem is we cannot find an architect. Because we understand in Reyhanlı'da, we not only have a refugee, we also have a suicide bombing. We also have a rocket attack. And more importantly, we don't have a budget. Any budget pay for the architect at all. So that's why I try to help my ambassador, Yasser Chang, in Taiwan to find an architect. I failed. I tried to find an architect in Ankara. I failed too. And my colleagues say, Cho, we are architects. We never do the public work in Turkey. Especially in Hatay, in Reyhanlı'da, you are crazy. This is a public work. And then you say, there's no payment. There's no design fee. And there's no budget for traveling. There's no budget for architects' insurance. Cho, we have a suicide bombing there. And I say, yes. So ambassador say, Cho, you cannot find an architect. You design the building. And I say, come on guys, I'm an architecture historian. I never designed any single building in my life. Then ambassador say, Cho, because we cannot find a second person, so you do it.
So you were the only person.
I'm the only person. And I say, okay, ambassador, I can work as a volunteer. I can give it a try, but I don't know what will happen. Then I start the work. I try to use my own saving and bring my student to the site 46 times visiting Reyhanlı'da to initiate, to consolidate the architecture program. Because at the beginning, it's a 24 classroom elementary school. But once we signed MOU, the municipality of Reyhanlı'da say, Joe, we don't want a school. Gentlemen, we just signed a contract. You know, we also want to use the building, so can you build a community center? Hey, I said, sure, why not? Then I asked the mayor, as a parliament member, what kind of community building you are talking about? Sure, you're an architect, you should know it. Huh? There's no program. Now what should I do? So that's why I bring the student to the side to understand what is the real condition. What is the real need of the people 46 times to initiate, consolidate architecture program, do the design, deliver 11 architecture proposal. First 10 totally failed, rejected. 11, we win, and they approve. Then we start construction. That's how we begin. I know it's like a little bit crazy. I must say thank you for Beacon University, give me freedom to do so. And also I must say thank you to my students. We all understand what Reyhanlı'da have experienced, but they are not afraid. This is a younger generation of architects. They work with me as a volunteer, go to the site. Even first time we visit Reyhanlı'da, we have a rocket attack from the Kurdish separatists on the same day. Before we start construction, 1 month before we start construction, there's another suicide bombing, car bomb explode next to our site. And we were there to supervise the construction. And without their effort, I cannot do anything. And this is why I see the hope of a Turkish architect, the architectural culture of Turkey. There's something coming out, and we'll do something very different.
When you built this structure, you used the leftover border walls. Before I had this information, I couldn't understand why you used such a heavy structure and such a light roof covering. But then it made perfect sense, and I was very impressed by what you said. Turn a barrier separating people into a place bringing them together. It's so impressive.
The site is 40 meters by 170 meters. It's a very big site. And our budget only have 400,000 US dollars, only 400,000. The mayor said, Cho, give me a Sydney Opera House. Sydney Opera House, what are you talking about? And also after we analyze the site, we understand that in situ concrete, the quality is so bad, not qualified construction. More importantly, we have Reyhanlı'da is in the middle of an earthquake zone. And we don't have a budget to do a proper foundation. We don't have a management skill to ensure the in situ concrete, the quality is qualified. And more importantly, the budget is so few. What should I do? I cannot build a public work or community center. When an earthquake comes, it will collapse. So together with my student and the previous project manager, Salim Sahin, Cho, we find there's a concrete block factory at Reyhanlı'da. It's so cheap, 4 meters in height, 2 meters in width. Each pieces, including the transportation and the lifting service, only 500 US dollars. Perfect C30 concrete, double metal mesh, bullet, rocket, carbon proof, earthquake proof. And I say, perfect. It's a perfect military facility, so strong, but we transfer the military facility into humanitarian facility. The war not separating the people. The war bring everyone together. So it's not just a political message, but also it's practical and fast. And also, what should I say? Earthquake happen, and it proves we are right.
Does it emotionally affect the people to use these border walls inside of it?
Because the land at the beginning is a park. So the people say, hey, it's a park. Of course, it's only trash there, because there's no budget to build a park. Then suddenly, the neighbors realize, what? A refugee center? What are you talking about? We buy the apartment facing the park, and now we are facing a refugee center. So the neighbors really get mad. Refugee center? What? Border wall? The military facility? This is crazy. And after the military facility, we also arranged a big stone as a gardening element to prevent the suicide bombing, the car bomb. And then the neighbor say, big rocket. No, 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 no. So there's many people complained. But the last year earthquake, the people totally transferred or transformed their perception. Because first, this building didn't damage at all. Second, the earthquake happened at 5 a.m., right? 7 a.m., my colleague, they are crazy. They open the center, start to receive everyone. Whoever lose the house, whoever need help, we provide the food, provide the water, provide electricity. From the first day the earthquake happened, we host 2,000 survivors, 500 surrounding the building, 1,500 inside the building. During that time, everything is shut down. We all know it. Even we don't know how many cash we have, how many diesels we have. But my colleagues, they are crazy. Cho, don't tell us what should we do. We try our best until the last moment comes. And since that moment, people understand this building will never collapse. And this building, whatever happens, will always open and receive everyone and taking care of everyone. Last year in June, the diplomat from Japanese embassy and German embassy visited the center. That's a Sunday morning. Suddenly we have an earthquake, 4.2 Richter scale. There's around 200 people. Immediately they enter the center. They understand this center will always be there. We withstand.
And it's working. You're not only working here as an architect, but you're also giving love and effort to this place. And you think that helping can be not only by giving money, but also by sharing. What is the motivation behind this idea?
I visited Reyhanlı many times. More I visit in Reyhanlı, and allow me to say, more I feel hopeless. 100,000 Turkish citizens in town received 150,000 Syrian refugees. After last year earthquake, we received another 200,000 Syrian refugees. Just for the rental price for an apartment, now it's 10 times higher before the earthquake. I say, my colleague and I, we saw many orphans, widows, and they suffer from poverty. And I ask myself, what we are doing here? Architect. What's that mean? I always tell my colleague, this is the saddest moment I have in my life in Reyhanlı is, there's one summer, Wadi and I, we work together. Hot summer afternoon, 40 degrees Celsius, on the roadside, there's a Syrian woman and hold a naked baby, try to find something to eat from a big aluminum trash can. There's no recycling process, in Turkey. What do we have inside? But that mother is hold the baby, try to find is anything we can eat. And during that time, what is stop the car, open the window, and give her the bread, money, and the fruit from the car to that woman. And that woman was get shocked. And I will never forget how she looked at us. And I asked myself, where is the justice? How much money this woman and the baby in that afternoon they need? Half euro? Half US dollars to buy the bread? But why in that moment she don't have? What we are doing here, how rich we are, how lucky we are. I ask myself, there's no justice. The only justice is in our hand. And let's take some action.
There is a war all over the world,
Yes.
an active war in Gaza right now. Do you have plans for those areas as well?
Whatever is it, anyone need help, definitely I say we should try our best. I mean everyone, including myself and my colleague. And also like you said, we have an endless war in the human civilization. Even I should say, yes, we build a small, humble center. The center definitely has no capacity to deal with the Syrian refugee crisis in Turkey, or even I should say the devastating situation brought by the earthquake. Even we build 100 this kind of center, 1,000, can we solve the problem? No, we don't have a chance. Then you say, Cho, then what are you doing? What are your colleagues are doing? Our life is short. Our time will disappear very soon. Even this center will disappear very soon. But there's something will remain. We will leave a story for the next generation. And this inspiring story will inspire a more young architect. As long as you believe, as long as you are determined, even you don't have money, you don't have power, you're willing to help everyone, then everyone will help you, then everyone will have a better future. We just make a story. Only the story will change the mentality of a human being. Until the human being mentality has been transformed, the society will be transformed. After 1,500 years, the story of Islam, the story of the Christianity, the story of Judaism, today we read the text. We are still getting inspired and encouraged. And that is the real power of human civilization, from sympathy, from empathy. From generosity, we have a strength and wisdom to do something meaningful. That's what we are doing. Just leave a story for the next generation.
I think I made you emotional. I'm sorry for this, but let's skip to a cheerful subject, which is your bag. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about his story? What is it? Who is he? And how it produced? Because I think when you tell the story of your bag, it will also be the story of producing in Reyhanlı Taiwan Center.
True. Because when we finished the first phase for construction, it cost $400,000. And during that time, I only have $6,000 left in my own bank account, 6,000. And during that time, I say, I need to finish the construction of the building because my responsibility is to collect money. I don't know, even during that time, I don't know how. And also, I also need to manage the building. Manage the building in responding to Syrian refugee crisis. I say, what should I do? And I look at around, I say, 150,000 Syrian refugees. More than 70% are widows and orphans. And then the children, definitely, they are the most disadvantaged group of people. So my solution is, if the mom can have a part-time job, then the children will never suffer from hunger, poverty. The children can always go to school. But the question is, the most of them are Muslim and they wear hijab, is right? They are not allowed to work on the street. So what kind of job the woman can do? They say, if they stay at home, they can also do some kind of labor-intensive, highly skillful work. The mom get a job. Then at least, the mom get a job, the children will have a chance. So that's why I say, what kind of job the mom can do? Then my colleagues say, Cho, they are perfect. They know how to do the kneading and the weaving. So our first product is a meow meow punch, kitty punch. Second product is the wolf wolves, puppy scarf. Then we have a chicken bag. It's everything made by our ladies, and they are really masters, and they produce all this work. So that's why we sell this work in Taiwan, and also we use this wonderful work as a gift for the donors. And of course, the donors say, "Cho, this is crazy. This chicken bag, even there's eggs inside. You can put your credit card or cash inside. So once you cash out in the supermarket, show you eggs." So, and I say, because this wonderful work and also this group of lady, we successfully collect enough money from Taiwan. The lady help us to complete the construction of the center. So all this product, whatever the animal we met in Reyhanlı'da, puppy, chicken, cow, sheep, what kind of animal, let's do something. And then we start to sell, start to promote. So now we have almost around 500 ladies work with us to produce now many different kind of work. From embroidery, from jewelry, from leather, from weaving, from kneadings. And then I realized the working is the best therapy for everyone suffer from the natural disaster or refugee crisis. Because first, people regain their social economic status. I don't need to beg you. I can earn everything by myself, is right? Then the second thing is, because you are doing something, so you will not always thinking and memorize whatever you suffer, is right? The third important thing is, it's a collective work. You feel I contribute something to the wider and bigger community. I'm useful. So I also regain my social economic status at the same time. Give everyone a job. And then everyone can survive.
It reminds me the project Hope for All after the tsunami in Japan.
True.
They were also treating people with this kind of activities.
Japan, Taiwan, as an island country, we really suffer a lot of natural disasters, earthquake, tsunamis, and of course, you also understand, we never out of the threat of the war. So that's why, maybe that's the reason, as an islander, as a citizen come from this island country, we are more sensitive, or I should say, have more experience about all this disaster, and in response, also generate the strategy to say, how do we deal with it?
Cho, I understand that Taiwan as a country wants to play a role in humanitarian crises by lending a helping hand. What kind of plans do you have for that? Because as I remember, I've listened from your ambassador to make Taiwan more respectful in the world area.
Now we are talking about very sensitive political issues, especially whatever we talk about China, literally we are against the so-called one China policy. And here I want to say something is, the center is called the Taiwan Reyhanlı Center for World Citizens, or the shorter name is called the Center for World Citizens. Today we say Syrian refugees. Literally we say they don't have a nationality. But we understand 200 years ago, there's no Republic of Turkey, there's no Syria. We all living under the Ottoman Empire. 200 years ago, we don't have a Republic of China, Taiwan, or People's Republic of China, today's mainland China, Communist China. When we start to believe people has no right to live equally, depends on their nationality. We are all human beings. Human beings should help human beings. It doesn't matter where we come from. It doesn't matter our nationality. It doesn't matter we have nationality or not. And this is my dream. It doesn't matter where we come from. We are all living in one family. I hope one day there's no any dispute between Taiwan and China. I hope that there's a true value is out of so-called patriotism, out of so-called nationalism. Human being just help human being. And this is the true humanity will always deliver a hope at the darkest corner of the world. I hope the value of Taiwan is not because it wants to be a country, independent country, or I should say it should separate from mainland China. The value of Taiwan not come from Taiwan. The value of Taiwan will be shining at the darkest corner of the world. The true humanity and above all nationalities.
Cho, I thank you so much for this conversation. It really touched me, and also I'm really happy to meet with you.
Thank you. Yasmin, thank you so much.
So thank you.
Thank you.